Hey guys, it's Friday and that means it's time for another Captain Foley Eaglemoss product review, and today we're going to be looking at one I've eagerly been anticipating receiving, finally got here, and that is the Daedalus class USS Horizon. Love the Daedalus class design. In my opinion, they should have been all over Enterprise, but Mike Okuda and Doug Drexler did push for these to be in there, if not the main ships, and they were told no by the producers. So something more recognizable to the fans, which needs a saucer. But that's another story altogether, which we talked about many times. So there it is, beautiful Daedalus class. So got some stats down here. Type Explorer, launched 22nd century, crew 229, length 140 meters. So looking forward to checking out this magazine. I haven't looked at it yet since I got it, so let's take a look together. Ooh. So standard Eaglemoss flare, of course. Over here you've got how to put it on the stand, pretty simple instructions. Here you got an interesting shot of it from the front. Looks kind of like the ship from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. They look kind of odd from the front, but that's okay. And down here, of course, you got some statistics, which we're going to read right now. So type Explorer, affiliation Federation, launched 22nd century, length 140 meters approximately, crew 229, top speed warp 7, weapons phaser emitters, photon torpedo launchers. So fantastic. Here you got some interesting detailed shots of the model. I find that these detailed shots, though, that they show here are actually of the 3D model they use to make these ships, not the physical model. So there she is in all her glory around a planet. Daedalus class. The Daedalus class was one of the first Starfleet ships to explore deep space after the Federation had been set up. There's actually an interesting novel called The Federation Year One, and at the very beginning it says this ignores the events of Star Trek Enterprise ever happening, because it's talking about the Daedalus class ships, the first run of them, and the scramble for captains to captain these, because people wanted to captain these explorers. So it's a fantastic novel. I suggest checking out. Starfleet Year One is what it's called. This came in, the Daedalus came in about 100 years after Zephyr Cochrane. Ooh, that's a beautiful shot of it in orbit. And over here you just have some information about Return of the Archons and Piece of the Action, data feed, the mobs of Chicago mobs of the 20s, sorry. Oh, that's nice. So there's a very cool schematic, or orthos of the ship, sorry. Looks beautiful. And it says here, the bizarre ram scoops on Daedalus class vessels featured spikes in the front of them, as did the Enterprise 1701 when it was under the command of Captain Christopher Pike in 2254. There's lots of really cool information and data feeds here, little facts about the ships. I admit I have not read a lot of the Eaglemoss books. I really need to get on that. So here's designing the Daedalus. As you can see there. This CG rendering by Fabio Pesaro of the Daedalus class ship was based on photographs of an original model and was specifically created for this magazine. At Michael Okuda's request, a Daedalus class model was built by Craig Jean based on a design by Matt Jeffries that Matt Jeffries had for the original Enterprise. And there it is there. There's a bunch of pictures there. It was famously seen in Captain Sisko's office and on a few other places throughout the shows as well. So Ben Sisko was a fan. So we got this, the Star Trek history of exploration, talks about First Contact, the Khan and the Botany Bay. Nomad, the Nomad probe, Friendship 1, again, first contact with the famous handshake. Oh, sorry, this is Ares IV, whatever number that is, 4. I'm not good with Roman numerals. It's part of my dyslexia, I think. But here's Friendship 1 right there. So yeah, Friendship 1, the Conestoga, the probe from Casino Royale. Another one of the DY class. So that's a DY 500. And then they talk about the USS Horizon being mentioned in Piece of the Action, so that was the ship from that. And here we got, next time, the Bajoran Freighter. Yay! I'm not a big fan of the Bajoran anything, so I don't think I'll be getting that one, but we'll see. And on the back of the book, it's got a beautiful shot of the Daedalus, or Horizon herself, from the top. Looks fantastic. I love these ships. Alright, so now let's get into the model itself and take a look at that. This one I have requested a few times and just never got because they were always out of stock. So it's great that it finally came in. So it's not super big. It is very, very light. Looks good. This engine closest to you does droop down a little bit, but that's easily fixable for sure. So let's take a look at the details now. Up top you got the bridge module. Not a lot of detail going on there, to be fair. The front of the ship, the USS Horizon, looks great. You got like a sensor band in the middle of the sphere, and then a bunch of windows around the perimeter of it. Looks fantastic. You can get a real sense of scale from the airlocks that are on the side. Right there's an airlock on the side with the light underneath it, and also the one right in smack dab in the middle, right above the impulse engines. So you get a real sense of scale with that. Not a super big ship, but you know, substantial enough. So that's really neat. On the bottom here you've got what is sometimes a deflector. Looks like some kind of deflector array there now. And on the bottom you've got the bottom of the sphere has a little red ring around it. Red ring around the rosy. I don't know. The neck, not a lot of detail at all. Got like a spine down the top part. The bottom's got like some indentations. Not sure what those are about. But the front here, I do like the addition of all the different small little sensors or deflectors that they have there. That's kind of a neat feature. I do like that. Moving back here, the registry NCC 176, United Federation, just United Federation, not of planets. So there's a nice banner there, which is really nice. The top of the secondary hull has a little bit of detail. You got a few windows there, and you got something similar to what we see on the Enterprise Constitution class at the back with the above the shuttle bay, and some nice red striping there as well, which looks really good. The bottom looks like the bottom of a Constitution class ship. You've got the different circles there, and which are warp core ejection ports and things for launching satellites and probes. So that's really cool. The back has a lot of cool detail. USS Horizon, you see the old style shuttle bay door, the red and green lights there as well. Looks nice. Looks like a pop can or some kind of can with it's so simple. It's such a simple design, but it's so cool. Moving to the nacelles, you've got the Bizarre collectors on the front, and they are clear red plastic with a clear Bizarre spike on them. I don't know if the spikes should be clear, but looks interesting enough. One spike, this one here, is angled in just ever so slightly, so it needs to be fixed. So this nacelle spike goes like this. This nacelle actually goes like this a little bit. in and down. So the struts have some nice detail on the inside. Again, it's very simple. Little window there. On the outside of the strut, there's absolutely no detail. There's some insets, but they didn't paint them or anything. And then there's the pinstriping along the side of the nacelle. Very thick at the front with the red ring around the nacelle there, and then a long pinstripe all the way to the back. I do like the ribbing that's on these. Speaks to an older style of shielding or nacelle build. A little bit of inner detail, but it's not colored any different. It's the same color, so that's alright. And then the back of the nacelles have a nice blue, painted blue grid pattern, which looks nice. So overall, this is a pretty nice little ship. I'm really a fan of the Daedalus class. This is one that's going to be displayed for sure. I know a lot of people hate it, but whatever, it is what it is. It should have been what was flying around instead of the NX-01 in my opinion. But anyway, a lot of people are going to complain about that and say, well, you know, the NX-01 is now canon and nah, 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 nah. Yeah, but you know what? It wasn't originally. This was what we pictured taking on the Romulans in the Romulan War, and then of course it was retconned that these were built after the NX-01 as a different style of ship, which also fought in the Romulan War. So it's like, alright guys, alright, I get what you're doing, stop it. But anyway, I don't want to cause any controversy, so let's head on over, take a look at it on the stand, and see how we can finish up this video. Alright, my fellow Trekkies, or Trekkers if you prefer. Here it is on the stand. Very simple placement. Slots into the nacelle struts. Pretty firm, actually. Doesn't really jostle around, which is nice. But we can look at some of these details. Stand doesn't do too much of a bad job. Doesn't really hide much of the ship, but again, you guys know I'm not a huge fan of the Eaglemoss stand designs. I think they could be much better. Maybe should be much better. I don't know. I just think they hide too much of the ship most of the time. But so there you have it, guys. The Daedalus class USS Horizon. Fantastic addition to the fleet. I love the older style ships, so this is definitely going with my TOS freighter and my K7 space station, and a few of the other ones like the Bonaventure now. So I like this era of ships. So I think this is a natural, realistic approach to what we could see heading out into space, built by us sometime relatively soon. Who knows? But let me know your thoughts down below. Do you like this ship? Do you hate this ship? Is this something you're thinking of picking up? If it is, by all means, click the link in the description below. Head on over to Eaglemoss via that link, and you can pick yourself up some stuff, add stuff to your cart, and use the code Trekyards at checkout to save yourself some money. It's good for you, it's good for us, and it's just, we love helping you guys out that way. So if you want to do that, by all means, go pick yourself up one of these fantastic ships and add a few others to the cart while you're at it. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to both channels, the Trekyards main channel and the Captain Foley personal channel, and by all means check out other videos by us as well. And every Friday are Eaglemoss ship reviews at 12 noon, and look forward to those every Friday, as well as Captain's Logs early in the morning on both this channel and the Captain Foley personal channel. Lots of cool stuff on each channel, so by all means subscribe and check out other videos. And we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.